John, what is the breaking license Tipperary again the last time?
A lot of hard work done. Yeah, I suppose to listen, we would have liked to have gotten a better performance out of ourselves. That's the bottom line. We didn't get the level of work rate into ourselves. We weren't accurate enough in what we were trying to do in terms of our execution of when we had the ball in hand. When we had the ball in front of goal, there was a number of different areas that we weren't very accurate in terms of what we were trying to do. But at the same time, we were coming off the back of two major matches for us, where there was huge pressure involved. We couldn't afford to slip up, and took a lot of energy. I think those two games took a lot of energy, physical energy and mental energy out of us, and you could probably see that in the last day.
You spoke the last day about you just pick the team and name it and move on. There's obviously been a lot of training done in between. Have guys really put their hands up now and said, John, I want to be playing on Sunday the Munster final?
Yeah, we had a couple of great sessions last weekend on Friday and Sunday. Really happy with the way they went. Boys worked extremely hard. They came back in fresh into us. We gave them a few days off after the last game, and I think they were delighted to get the break of a couple of days. We all were. We needed to step away from it for a couple of days just to freshen up. And yeah, we've a bit of work to do this week yet. We have to train tonight and train Friday night, but so far so good. Fellas have worked extremely hard, and they're asking all the right questions.
Every time they've been asked the question, even last year and this year, this squad seemed to have responded very well. They almost respond well to pressure. You're expecting a big performance from them in front of the sellout crowd here on Sunday?
Well, listen, when these challenges are laid down, you've only one choice, and that's to respond in the right manner. So this is obviously a huge challenge, but to date, when the questions have been asked, they have found a way to respond. They're able to dig in and find that extra bit of work rate, or that vital block, that vital hook, that vital score. They've managed to do that, and that's the challenge for Sunday now for them as well, to see if they can bounce back and see if they can find greater resources to bring to the game on Sunday.
Is it a fallout of the new format, or is there any consistency that you would worry about across the Munster Championship?
No, I wouldn't be worried about any inconsistencies. Yes, the first day was a poor performance, full stop. No excuses there. Second two performances, you'd be very happy with them in every respect. And I think just, again, like last year, we learned an awful lot from that third match, and we knew that, rotation was going to be key. And I suppose if I had my way again, I'd probably rotate even more.
You must be pleased with the depth of your squad, because the likes of Paddy O'Loughlin and without an have been playing really great since they did.
Yeah, the boys have taken their opportunities. I suppose at this level, if you don't take your opportunity, you don't know when you're going to get a chance again. So, those lads have done well, the opportunities they've taken. They obviously have plenty more work to do, but it's really great thing for us to see players come in and make a contribution when they have maybe had too many opportunities before now.
Munster Championship, it really does test squads, and we saw the last day with the injuries to Tip. How big of a loss do you think Bonner and Calgar should be?
Listen, nobody likes to see any player getting injured, and especially getting a cruciate injury. Patrick Bonner has been a phenomenal servant for Tipperary Hurlers. He's been a player that I think any hurling person would have admired for his work rate, his line breaks, his vision with his hand passing, his ruthlessness in attack. He's a phenomenal hurler, just one that you couldn't but admire. Nobody takes any satisfaction in seeing a player like of his calibre not being available for Munster final. It's very unfortunate. We wish him well in his recovery. But for us, it's all about ourselves and our own team, our own preparations. And even at that, that's more than enough for us to contend with. Our performance wasn't good enough the last day, and that's where our focus has to be in terms of turning that around and making sure that all the ingredients we need on Sunday are going to be there. Listen, we're not 100%, but we're not too bad. At the same time, we picked up a couple of bits and pieces at the weekend, but they're not major. They're just knocks and tweaks and stuff like that. So it's going to take till the end of the week really to know where we're at. But Barry Murphy's obviously clearly out. Seamus Lanning got a bang in the hand the last day. He trained Friday night, didn't train Sunday. We hope he'll train tonight, so we'll see how that goes tonight.
Was it strange, John, to lose 2 games in the group stages as such and still qualify for the final, or is that just the way the structure goes?
Listen, it's only year 2 of the competition, so okay, people coming from a background of knockout Munster Championship are going to say this is madness, but this is the structure. The structure is where teams are tied on points, and if there's 3 or more teams, it goes down to score difference. If there's 2 teams tied together, it's head to head, and some years you're going to come out the right side of those things, and some years you're going to come out the wrong side of them. So that's just the way the structure of the competition is, and it's going to take a few years for I think everybody to get used to that type of an outcome. It's unusual. It takes a bit of getting used to it, but it is what it is.
I know Anthony, a few people in Clare were a little bit unhappy, saying that you might have done more, maybe against Tipperary. That's not something you agree with.
I would listen. I haven't heard that, but okay. That's their opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. We went to win that match the same as we go to win every single match we play. That wouldn't be my mantra, and it certainly wouldn't be my mentality. And the day I start thinking like that is the day I'll be saying good luck, lads. So listen, the bottom line is, as I said earlier, it's really difficult playing the 3 games in the 14 days. People do not realise it, and maybe those people haven't been involved with teams who have had to go through that as well. And it's really, really difficult to keep bringing yourself to the pitch for 3 games like that, of those intensities. Like our games were, like the Clare game and the Waterford game, for us were of a huge, huge intensity for us to keep ourselves in the competition. So, as I said earlier, maybe even a couple of more rotations might have been actually needed more so than this.
In that sense, how impressive would Tipperary be? So, looking at them on tape and up close in person.
Sure, their hurling is of a very high quality. Their stick work, their ball control is really good. Their passing is really good. They've brought a savage intensity to the game as well in terms of their work rate. So, you're going to have to match and exceed that if you're going to give yourself a chance. So that's the real challenge for us now on Sunday, because we got outworked quite significantly the last day, and that's a big challenge for us now going into the game on Sunday.
Have you seen the players bench this week in terms of wanting to?
Listen, every player worked their salt coming off the back of a performance where they know they didn't perform to the level that's required, will naturally want to respond and produce a greater performance the week after, or whenever the next chance they get. Listen, there's a lot at stake next Sunday. It's a really significant game from the point of view. It's a Munster final, number 1. It's a hugely prestigious competition. Very few guys in our dressing room have a Munster medal, so it's a real challenge, and you don't get too many opportunities in your career. Like, we've only had 4 Munster finals in the last 23 years in Limerick, so that's not too many opportunities in a career that could span only maybe 6 or 7 years. So you have to take whatever chances come your way.
John, you said throughout the championship that teams' performances will improve through the championship, and given what happened last day, that's obviously something you'd be expected from Limerick. But on the flip side, from Tipperary winning 4 from 4, do you expect both sides to raise their game from what we saw?
I think so. Yeah. You'll see a marked increase in performance, I think, from both sides. Yeah, I think they'd be probably thinking that they have a bit more in the tank as well. So, yeah, I'd say you should see hopefully 2 better performances from both sides.
And as to the preparations, the most important thing maybe that break, given the 3 games in the 14 days that you had to rotate and you had to make changes last time, and as part of your preparations.
Time will tell. Time will tell whether it was the right decision or not. Certainly looking at the players in training, we feel it's the right decision, because they've freshened up and they're ready to go. Like, Declan was injured, like, that's the bottom line. Declan had a groin strain, and Declan is back training now. So his welfare as a player is paramount, regardless of the match.
Sorry, just in 2013, you were part of 2013. Fantastic scenes at the Gaelic grounds that day. Obviously, we were all hoping that would be repeated on Sunday. Is is that a prime motivation as well? Not that you need any more motivation in a Munster final, to win a Munster title in front of your home crowd.
Well, I would imagine that every player and anybody involved in the game would have that down as one of their objectives. If they start playing into county hurling, you know, at senior level, that would be one of the milestones or stepping stones in their career. But as we know in Limerick, it can be a difficult step at the same time to take. So, listen, we'll get our preparation right. We'll make sure our preparations are spot on, and we'll hopefully give ourselves the best possible chance on Sunday to perform to the best of our ability and be the best team we can on Sunday, and hopefully it'll be good enough to get us the result.
John, Limerick tip games down through the years, just something of both teams, obviously where you're working yourself. Do you sense a different build up to this, almost as an even bigger build up than previous years because you're all Ireland champions and typical so on?
I don't know, to be honest with you, because apart from being at training, I'm at work or at home, so I'm not putting myself in the way of any way of dipping my toe in the water of anticipation or opinion. So I don't know is the answer to that. All I know is from my own perspective that it's something that I really would like to achieve with this group of players. I know that these players, it would mean an awful lot to them, but we know that it's a very significant challenge at the same time.
Do you have to go to work on Monday? You finish the summer.
Can I just ask you about 96, has that been in your thoughts this week at all?
No, not really, no, not at all, to be honest with you. It's 2 o'clock on Sundays, all that's on my brain at the moment, you know. But no, listen, sure, we're busy, we're quite busy now with preparations and, you know, looking at all the details ourselves, and obviously we're training tonight, we're training Friday night, we're training Sunday, Friday, so you know, we've had a lot going on. So you don't take time in the middle of a championship to reflect very much, to be honest with you. You know, even reflecting too much on even games that have just been in the recent past, you know, you just move on. It's the next hurdle, the next race, the next jump, you know. So for us, it's all about the game on Sunday, that's it.
Is it quantifiable, John, of playing at home? I know Tipper are very experienced as well, and not, you know, they're used to playing here, but is it worth anything? Is it worth, you know, any advantage to them? Well,
it's up to us to make it an advantage, is what I'd say to you, you know. We're training twice a week, 3 times a week, played matches here, it's a home ground, we have to make it count. That's the way I look at it. You always have to make your home advantage count. We didn't make it count against Cork. We did subsequently in the Clare match. So that's one thing I've learned, you know, home advantage doesn't mean anything unless you make it count. So, you know, all these lads should know where those goalposts are without looking, you know. The same as some of the tip lads knew where they were the last day without looking. So I think that's up to us to make it count.